Well, welcome to another episode of Nephilium Hollow. No longer is it Shangri-La Frontier, as our main character Sunraku is now in a different game, a new game, and he's still enjoying himself. He decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop playing Shangri-La Frontier because I can't really do anything right now. So he picked up a game he hadn't played in 3 months. Well, in the process of this game, of course, he already fights one person, and then he has another one ready on the wings to fight him. Because apparently when he left this game, he was actually a good player to the point that he was destroying the ranking boards and going up against the #1 player, Rust. Well, the #1 player, Rust, could not have that because she's been waiting for a challenge and now is ready to go up against Sunraku. So, you know what? Hey, they had a pretty good fight. Things went well, but things didn't really go well for Sunraku. Now, I honestly had no clue how this fight would go. It was pretty close in the way things were going, and I was glad that he even had a close range sword because, you know, as he was battling it with Kingfisher, I was like, he's shooting everywhere, but there's no way you can get anywhere with just a gun blast, like quick speed and then a blaster. So to reveal that he actually had a sword in the gun, it's like, oh, okay, all right, that's good, that's good. But it didn't go over well. And because it didn't go over well, the hopes and dreams of a few people on him kind of were dashed as well. But it's okay. The fact that he actually has the ability to fight up against Rust one more time. And I will have to say, as far as Rust's character, you know, she's in there. She's, you know, a character that is dominating a game. Of course, she's not going to stop playing the game. And Sunraku was just chilling, having fun playing it. So the fact that he's back all of a sudden, it made a lot of sense when he was like, yeah, I'm going to lose because I haven't played in 3 months and I got to get used to it. You know, there's been updates and there's probably patches, new parts and all this stuff. And as a player myself, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes lots of sense. He goes away for 3 months and, you know, there's no telling all the things that could happen in the game while the #1 player has been constantly playing this whole time. So, you know, give it up for Sunraku going that far and that toe-to-toe with him. But of course, Russ is not having it. Now, one thing I find interesting with Russ's character is looking into this game, she has an operator. Now, I do not know, they haven't really kind of explained, they did give a backstory of the actual game and how it all works, but they didn't really give information about her and her operator Mold, because thinking back on it, from what we've seen, she's the only one with an operator that's feeding her information as she duels. So I would assume that's something that can be done in the game, either that or she's the only person that has this, and that of course helps her as she's battling, or is one of those types that is in the battle and doesn't, you know, as she's fighting, she's not really analyzing things of the battle, so she needs someone to feed her information. But that's the question that I was wondering, whether or not if there are other operators that help the actual person that's battling, because, you know, if she has this person to do this for her, no wonder she's #1 if she's the only one doing it. Because think of it like this, if every player in the game has their own mech and they could do whatever they want, and then they go about and creating their own mech and playing their own mech and such, Mold is sacrificing being a player in this game and being able to use his own mech and actually play in order to help Rust. So that's why I'm wondering, like, okay, you know, if we knew more about the game, as in like, oh yeah, there's different classes, someone can be an operator, someone can be someone that drives it, or if it's just something like he's just a player that gets enjoyment of the game from helping her. You know, I don't know which is the case, but I did notice something that was pretty interesting. I'm wondering if this ninja girl is Rust. Like, the fact is, we have gone, what? This is like the 7th episode and we still don't know who this ninja girl is. And I noticed that she has like a scar on her cheek as well as Rust. And I wonder if that's a character thing that, you know, when you are creating your own character, you can kind of have designs and stuff on them and you can give them scars. If that's something she likes to have, kind of like Pencil Gun has like pencil in her name somewhere, you know, little nuanced things like that. If she does play Shangri-La Frontier, but not as much of course, Sunraku, and we talked about last week that if she does, maybe she has some information to give Sunraku, and from her bouts of playing the game, because if this is her, she has a Vorpal bunny as well. Now, of course, I don't know if that Vorpal bunny is mold. I doubt it, because I don't think you can actually play as a Vorpal bunny when you create your character. So it would be pretty cool if this was her and that she, like Sunraku, was able to access Rapid Zua and is able to have information from unique things like Sunraku. And that would be pretty good and a reason for him to, you know, defeat her. Now, granted, right now he wants to defeat her because she's number one, and he's like, all right, I'm not leaving this game until I beat her, so then she can pick a new mech, because she has this code that she doesn't change her mech unless defeated. Okay, fine, you know, if that's your code, that's your code. But Sunraku came up in here with a very interesting mech, this Fiddler Crab, which surprised a lot of people that he's like, huh, he sacrificed a lot of speed and maneuverability to get this hunk of junk, you know, what most people would say. But this hunk of junk actually did something very amazing. In my reaction, I was saying how if they're saying active camo is really not that good because you can still see your thrust and dust and all that stuff, I can understand that. But her mech makes so many explosions. There's explosions all over the place, especially from the missiles and anything that's done. So all he has to do is either climb to the side of the building or jump. He might have, you know, capabilities to jump pretty high. And then he could just do what he did here, use the active camo in the explosion, not knowing where he's at, and then bam, attacks her. Now, it looks like that's what he did. Whether he jumped or was on the side of the building, I don't know. We'll probably learn more next week. But the fact that he surprised her there and took out one of her arms, it's like, yes, sir, there we go. We got progress, let's go. Now, granted, she is kind of a close range mech with some long range with missiles and such. Now that she knows what he can do, I'm hoping he actually has more in his arsenal than just this. Like he's, you know, that all he's gonna do is just hide out, jump, or attack her from the shadows. I don't know. And I doubt that just taking that one arm is gonna end the duel, because she technically has another more weapons. But I had to give it to Sunraku for the fact that he only had, what, less than 24 hours to learn all the thing there is about the game again, and then create something to defeat her. You know what? He's a great player. And not a lot of people can do that. As someone that has played a lot of MMOs and have gone to websites to like min-max characters, you know, throw things in like, okay, it's, you know, get builds together. I have to, you know, tip my hat off to them, whether or not this is, you know, pretty cool that they actually brought this about. And as far as the computer graphics of this episode, I thought they were not bad, because they did show like the buildings and stuff were kind of throwaway, but I think they did pretty well for the mechs. Anyway, that was pretty much it. I really enjoyed this episode, even though it's not quote unquote Shangri-La Frontier, it's still pretty good. And definitely keeps me wanting more as each episode comes out and each week comes out. So that's all I can ask for. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below, but make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed and check out more that we have to offer here on the channel, because we'll definitely be going over more anime as well. But I will agree with you guys that this is a pretty good episode, and thus far a pretty good season. So we'll see how things continue as things go on. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.